To Everyone Needs a Coach. Today's guest is Scott Smith, the head coach at Highland High School in Bakersfield, California, and a member of the Rising Coaches Consulting Program. Scott, thank you for joining us today. Just get started with our first question. What made you decide that mentorship could really help you as a head high school coach?
I was just looking around. It's something that I needed to better improve myself in every area, and I didn't feel like I could get it here where I was at. So I needed to branch out, basically, to something different. And honestly, I was just scanning Twitter, and I've been listening to the Rising Coaches podcasts, and I was scanning Twitter, and I saw it on one of the feeds, and I just decided to click on it, and I obviously met up with you. And then from there we went, and it's been a great experience so far. Like I can't tell you that I was ever gonna be able to meet the people that I've met in basically one short month. I've met college coaches at all levels, in both men and women, and I've met pro coaches, and it's just been amazing within a whole month to meet all these people.
Awesome. That's great that we got to get you from the social media world. That's great that we were able to connect that way. Um, just piggybacking on that last answer, how has the mentorship just in the month that you've been involved with this help you grow as a coach?
I got hooked up with Ty Ellis, and I never knew who Ty was before, but after a 1 hour meeting with him, I got done and I researched a little bit on him, and the guy's done a lot. And for him, he's a G League coach. And when I talk to him, he doesn't talk to me like I'm a high school coach and he's a G League coach. It's very, we bounce ideas off of each other. He shows me his stuff, and he tries to say, hey, man, relate this to what you can do at high school. And it's one great thing he told me was relate what I do with agents, because like agents are like parents, and I thought that was really good. Like I've never even thought of it that way. He goes, how I deal with agents is how you probably should deal with your parents. And he's just giving me a bunch of great advice, tips, I guess you could say, to like be like, hey, this is things that you can do in your program that are like what I do in my program, but just counter them to what you do. Because how I deal with players, they're pros, and how you deal with kids, they're high school athletes, and it's just like, it's very true. Like you're not going to treat a high school athlete the same way as a pro, so you're going to have to adjust to that. But I thought the agents and the parents thing was spot on. And then he just taught me a couple other sayings that have really helped me, like through guys that he's met. Like he mentioned something about Herm Edwards, which I thought was great. And he says either you're coaching something or allowing it in your program. And I thought that's really went far. And there's a couple things that I've been able to correct in my program just because of that. So that's been helpful for me.
I know you said you came into this thing kind of blind, didn't know really what to expect, but just kind of in your thoughts beforehand, you probably thought like, how could a mentor really help me develop as a head coach, especially at the high school level?
Yeah, as a head coach, it's kind of a lonely world. You don't have somebody to bounce something off all the time. Like you got your assistants, but those are the guys that are going to support you no matter what. They're also going to tell you what you need to hear. But sometimes I don't know if and I don't mean this disrespectfully. Sometimes it's like you're trying to get to another level with your program along with them. And sometimes you just need an outside influence, whoever it may be. So to have that, I think has been so beneficial because, like I said, it's not so much that Ty or any of the other people that we've met with are pros or they're in college or whatever. It's just they have a different outlook, and sometimes they do it at a higher level. So you can take that and use it into your skill set as far as how do I coach an X and O? How do I handle a player? How do I handle an off the court issue? And that mentorship it's just something that helps anybody grow. And I think you'd be a fool not to take advantage of it.
Well, great. No, I totally agree. Being a head coach can be lonely, especially as a high school or maybe a smaller college where you don't have a huge staff and your staff, is trying to learn along with you. So it's great to have an outside person that you can help that elevate your game to elevate your program at the same time, which I think is awesome. And then you
Exactly.
said, uh, kind of piggyback on what you just said, why would you recommend membership to other coaches or head coaches especially?
I'd recommend it just like I said at the beginning, the amount of people that you meet and ideas that you meet. Like I've met like just in our month, I've been able to talk to NBA guys. I've been able to talk to G League guys. I've been able to talk to college guys, college females, head coaches, just at every level, assistants, GAs. And it's so awesome to get everybody else's perspective because I think a lot of people get into this thinking like, oh, I just want to be a head coach or I just want my own program. It's like, I think you need to see so many ins and outs of what we do. Like my last group session, I had a GA in there. He was from Memphis. We had another coach that was a head women's coach, and we had another coach that was an assistant at a community college. And it's so cool to see everybody's different level and how they handle players, how they handle their program, how they handle their budgets. Because like you said, not everybody has the same thing. So it's like, how do you utilize all that? And to see what an NBA person does, to see what a Division I or Division II head coach does. And then just to see different spectrums because in the men's and the women's game, it's different. And you can always utilize that to make yourself better. It's like there's such a broad spectrum and so many ideas out there to get it. So it's for me to recommend it. It's invaluable. Like this is so much better than ever going to a clinic and sitting there and just watching somebody give their drills to me. I mean, and I really mean that. Like it's so awesome to sit on there on a Zoom meeting and have them pull up anything that they have labeled, whether it's their offense, their defense, how they run a program, what their calendar is for a month. It just gives you so much insight that sometimes you don't even know existed. And it's just like, this is really what basketball is about. And this is what mentorship is about, is like, there's so much out there. Why don't we all share it? And why don't we all talk to people? Why don't we all get better connections? And it's something that you don't have to go to the Final Four for, because I think that's what everybody thinks is like, oh, I go to the Final Four and meet everybody and get my next job. And it's just like, honestly, you might meet somebody here that opens up your job in a month. It might open up a new opportunity for you in a year or 5 years from now. And I think that's what is most invaluable, as long as you're willing to put the work in. Don't like go in expecting like, oh, I'm going to meet this person and get a job offer. It's just like, hey, these are people that are really going to care for you about you as a person. Then they're actually going to meet up with you and they're going to check in on you and they're going to obviously help you with the basketball side of it as well.
No, it's great. And then one thing that we've noticed through this program is that these relationships are more organic and they're more they become at a deeper level because of the opportunity you get to spend with your mentor or just the people in the program, because you have the opportunity to talk to them about anything or everything. And it's not like the Final Four where it's just, hey, how are you? How was your season? And then you move on, and it becomes more of a real relationship. And that's what mentorship can bring to you, which can help you in so many aspects of coaching.
Exactly. And I think too, it takes the nervousness out of it too. Cause sometimes when you're in those big settings, there's so many people, and you're like, who do I talk to? How do I know them? How do I approach them? Well, we're on this, you're just automatically matched up with 1, 2, 3. Sometimes you're even in breakout rooms. Like you don't have to have that scary feeling about approaching somebody, and they understand it as well. It's like they're open up to your ideas and vice versa. It's like when I was sitting with Coach Macy in that last breakout room on the weekend. I mean, she's a head women's coach, and she's sitting there asking me as a high school coach, what do I think about certain things? And I doubt that would ever happen just in an in-person interview, So it's cool to have that.
Well, that's great. That's great knowledge, great information. Really appreciate it, Scott. Um, Hopefully you guys have a season this year in California, and good luck with that. And we look forward to watching you and your squad if you have a season this year. So thanks for joining us today.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Thank you.